Hello, everybody, and welcome to my outlook on the emotional exchanges. This is Oberon, and it's TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. We do weekly live shows, and we do a variety of recorded programs that look at either different facets in your life, like emotions, or other things. I'll list all of that stuff at the end. But this program is about your emotional life. It could be about your love life. It could be just about deep friendships. It could be just about the things you feel. But hopefully what we do here is show you why those things are important, whatever that's coming towards you, and where it may ultimately lead you to. So I use the very beautiful modern tarot love Oracle or Tarot by Ethany. It's really beautiful. The art is by Lucy Morningstar. And I really like it here. And then I complement that by giving us a little bit of an affirmation, positive outlook for our emotional life with the Universal Love Oracle set by Tony Carmine Salerno. It's very beautiful. So we're going to get started. And I do these in order of the elemental signs of the zodiac. So we'll be looking at the air signs and then the fire, water, and earth, asking pretty much the same questions. What are the emotional currents running close to you now, running to you? Why are they important? And where is it leading to? This reading is for today, Friday, April 6th. No, I'm sorry, that's April 7th. Until next week, the 12th, which would be next Thursday. All right. So who's up first? I believe it's the air signs. Air signs. What is coming to you? Emotionally happy or regardless, what is coming towards you? And it's the reversed Eight of Wands. Something is coming towards you, but it's really coming very slowly, and it may be coming even haphazardly. In terms of emotions, I wonder, is this your approach towards something you want emotionally, or is this somebody representing somebody who's taking the long way to kind of get their feelings across to you? Something is moving towards you, but it's slowly, or you're maybe moving towards it, but slowly. Why is that important? Jeez. Hourglass reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh my goodness, what can I make of this? Well, I suppose it's important because I think really this is saying really this is a moment of caution for watching out for unlikely, unexpected things probably happen in the emotion department. Maybe abrupt changes of feeling between people, maybe incredible disagreements, fights, arguments. So I'm just wondering really if this is about timing, the slow factor, dealing with changes. And I guess it's important because maybe we don't really want these changes necessarily to happen. So where does this lead to? Oh dear. God, sometimes you just hate it when the cards just sort of tell their own tale. It's the Three of Swords. So I would say that there's something that is being broken, and it's the heart. In this context, maybe the Eight of Wands means you're not expecting this. So I think air signs maybe are going to be confused or caught blindsided by something happening that maybe just doesn't have the right energy for them to understand it. But it's important because I think it's giving us that idea that there's something unexpected happening, and it could be how we have dealt with our relationships. Maybe air signs didn't realize some of the things they were doing or saying or whatever were leading towards a conclusion of some sort of parting of the ways. So I'm really sorry about that. I hope it's not exactly like that. I mean, I'm wondering what other possibilities are there. It just does seem like some sort of breakup, whether it's between a primary relationships partners or other people in big friendships. So let's see if an affirmation can give us something to consider and maybe hope for, resonate with. And again, that's the Universal Love Oracle deck. Eternal Flame. Eternal Flame. You are so much more than you can possibly know. An eternal flame glows within you at all times. All is constantly embraced by eternal truth. You are being encouraged to hold on to your truth and not to be swayed by others. The universe is testing your faith in yourself. Will you hold your ground, or will you give in? Remember, the right path for another is not necessarily the right path for you. Stand firm in your truth and feel yourself both empowered and liberated. And that's very interesting considering what we saw here. This may be actually taking on a different tone now, that maybe, although unexpected, it is probably for the better that you are moving away from something that maybe is damaging. And maybe this is about finding your own strength and source here and believing in your own convictions, and that whatever this may be about, you still seem to be standing on the right side of it. So it's a little bit of a puzzle there, but I wish you luck, my air sign friends. And so we are going to move on to the fire signs. And by the way, if you didn't know, I forgot to mention air signs are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So now moving on to the fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What kind of emotional stuff is coming towards the fire signs? And our first card is the reversed Five of Cups. So I get the feeling that from the past or from some synergy or previous connection, someone is thinking of you. Someone is filling themselves with their fondness for you from the past. Perhaps maybe there was a parting, but now they're feeling like maybe they are coming back. This could be an ordinary friendship. It could be a relationship of some other sort. Why is it important? It's the reverse Six of Wands. I wonder if it's important because maybe you've been trying to be unrecognized by this person or to not be acknowledged. Maybe there's a story here, and maybe for some reason you weren't expecting for this person to come back into your life to think about you. So it is interesting because maybe this is somebody that you really felt was out of your life, but now it seems like they need to find you again. They need something fire signs, they are recognizing you. Maybe it's not about love, but maybe there's something there that they need to connect with. So where does it lead to? Ooh, it's the moon. And the moon could be about things that we can't quite figure out, but we need to, mysteries. And so where this is leading to is that maybe there is something unknown that is important in all of this. It may account for why it ended or how it ended and why it's now important. You know, if I was writing a novel or something tawdry, I would say maybe this is about a love child, or maybe this is about something in a relationship that fire signs didn't know about, and that it is a revelation of some sort. So, of course, you know, a child that one never knew about. But there could be a lot of other things. You know, there could be things about financials or things about secrets. So it's very interesting, fire signs. I wonder where it will lead to. I guess this is the part where we probably want to do some affirmation and see if that can give us a little insight or a little something to ponder here in this moment. So I'm using the Universal Love Oracles by Tony Carmine Salerno. Meditation. Your soul is yearning to communicate. Sit quietly and listen. Allow the light of your soul to swell in your heart. Pay attention to the guidance that comes through. Whether you are struggling to find a solution or gain direction, stop and take refuge. Give your mind the chance to be still. Meditate upon a loving thought, for it is through love that all becomes clear. So to me, there's a strong feeling here that maybe there was something in the past that maybe it didn't end well, or it ended abruptly, or it ended without maybe some sense of a fulfillment, of a completion of things, of a sense of certain things that needed to be known that maybe weren't. And I think that the affirmation says, whether this is really happening or whether this could be happening, you will need to spend some time meditating about these factors, like I just mentioned. So I would say, if you don't remember all that, rewind this and look back at it. But I think this is really important for fire signs to understand here what that's about, because it is kind of strange. It actually doesn't sound like the kind of thing that fire signs normally get involved with. They sort of just move on. Okay, so now here are people who do tend to have past things come back. It's the water signs, the signs that are just built for emotions. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. They may tend to feel things acutely, whether or not they portray that. You know, some of them are good at sort of keeping to themselves or keeping their emotional look in check. You never know. So once again, what emotional feelings or happiness or whatever is coming towards the water signs? And it's the world reversed. And this is about things that have not quite been achieved correctly, or feel like there's a sense of imperfection. So when I apply this to the emotional things, I get the feeling that this could be about our interactions with a person. It's probably not necessarily the deep past, it could be current, but it's something about either relationships that are very close or just somewhat good relationships that we feel we have another chance maybe to resolve certain factors or to elevate them. Or maybe if we're looking at certain relationships, we're finding that they need work. they're not as perfect as we need them to be, and there's things that need to be made better. Why is that important? Oh, it's the Seven of Swords. It's upright. It's important because maybe things in certain relationships are not equitable. That maybe there are people who are more on their own side and or hiding things. I only sort of hinted at that here, but now I almost feel like we have a situation maybe where somebody doesn't want to be totally honest, or somebody is trying to not share something. I think this is coming up in the future, but the idea is it could have happened in the past. And it may be that we're going to have to be a little bit on the downs low ourselves, or beneath the radar, to kind of try to poke at this and see what's going on. Where does it lead to? Oh dear, 10 of Cups. So there's unhappiness in store here with this idea, water signs. It's sort of a feeling like something's going on in the relationship that really makes it very imperfect at this time, or makes it feel like there are situations, and the situations could be about secret agendas or things happening without being noticed that are important. It could lead to some interesting status quo changes in our relationship, and or the sense of our overall happiness. So I don't know what's going on for the signs this week. They're all having kind of not great stuff. So I'm thinking that something going on with the full moon, which of course was the last day or two. You know how that goes. So let's take a look at our affirmation from the universal love. See what we can feel there. The gateway. A chapter in your life is coming to a close. Surrender it gracefully and with love. Trust. All is held eternally within our hearts. As the natural cycles of life take their course, remember that spring always follows winter. Time is a gateway. Allow its precious beauty to pour into your heart. If there is a sadness at this time, remember, as a new chapter unfolds, love guides all things. And you know, that's a little heavy for the water signs, but it just seems to be pretty appropriate given the cards we saw here. It really does seem like something is changing, and we need to consider how to let it go and transition with love. So let's move on to our final zodiac elemental configuration, and that is earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth signs, what is coming towards you in emotions? And you have the Eight of Wands, like the air signs or the fire signs did, but it's upright. So I think there is something definitely moving towards you. I feel that Earth signs, somebody really wants to make their presence known to you. They're aiming towards you and moving quickly. And so I feel like Earth signs, You may be really magnetic, meeting new people. If you're looking for a relationship, you may have prospects there. But if you're just buoyant about meeting new people, or maybe if that feeling is coming to you, this is the week for that. You seem to be clipping along there. Why is it important? Well, it's the Ten of Swords, so okay, slightly misleading, but I guess it's important because there may be things ending and you are moving towards something totally different. And of course, there's sad things written down there: divorce, certification. And so it could be that maybe there is a big change in our status quo, earth signs. And that's why things are moving quickly here, because we want to get on with our life. Earth signs, we're sort of, about that. There's no lingering here. They're sort of moving on to what will next become the next enjoyable thing. So where is it leading to? And it's change. It's death, change. And so earth signs, I think this, like the others, there's big opportunities for change here. You seem to be sitting with it more stoically, if not more balanced in its own way. I'd say that the idea of change coming in your status quo, whether it's about actual relationships or just about how you feel about people or certain things, is important and is going to move probably quickly. So let's have our universal love affirmation for the earth signs now. You too get to meditate. So I will read that again. It's meditation again. And I think it's important to read this. This one is probably meant for all of us, if you think about it. Here we go. Your soul is yearning to communicate. Sit quietly and listen. Allow the light of your soul to swell in your heart. Pay attention to the guidance that comes. Whether you are struggling to find a solution or gain direction, stop and take refuge. Give your mind a chance to be still. Meditate upon a loving thought, for it is through love that it all becomes clearer. And that's perfect for the idea for the earth signs, or any of us that may be going into really big change. The Ten of Swords and the Death card are the two most often thought of game changer kind of cards in the tarot. One may have more physical meaning than the other, one may be more spiritual than the other, or they just kind of form that idea that for this reading, there's big change going, and you will do well to meditate and fan that flame of your heart in support of your emotionality, because you're going to need some strength this week, I think, earth signs. And I actually think that all of the zodiac is probably affected by some of the recent things going on in the heavens. So I wanted to thank everybody for being here, and I'm just going to run through our weekly shows and just remind everybody we could really use your support, your viewership. There's a little bit for everyone, and right at the end I'm going to announce a couple of new things that are happening. But first of all, we start off on Sundays with Banshees Material Matters, and that's at 10 a.m. It's a recorded show, but we're live in the chat room, so you can interact with us there. Then on Mondays, it's Your Weird Week at 9 a.m. And that one's a little bit more globally, politically conscious. It's just a recorded one, so you can watch it whenever, but it does come on Mondays at 9 a.m. each new segment. And then on Wednesdays is Goth Tarot, which is my weekly look into maybe the more shadowy, serious, melancholy side of life. That's Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. And of course, Oberon's Outlook is Fridays at 7 a.m. On Saturday, we have the Happy Hour, which is a live stream Starts at 10 a.m. and generally goes to 11:15-ish. And that's a one-card pull with a divine or spiritually uplifting message for each person who comes to the chat room. We also have our 2 live streams on Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. and on Sunday afternoons from 2 to 4 p.m. You can come and get a free reading live. Ask any question. We will give it a try. All right, once a month we do the monthly modality message, which is our own unique, rather astrologically tinged tarot card reading. That's usually when the sun moves into the next sign of the zodiac. Our new shows that we are now adding are the Unhappy Hour, which will be on the 4th quarter of the moon as the moon goes towards its dark moon segment. We will be on, it'll probably be on 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. in the afternoons, maybe fluctual, but it will also be pre-recorded with us live in the chat room to go over all of that unhappy. Don't be misled by the title. This is really a reading you want to check out. And then finally, we are doing TFT at the Witching Hour, which will be 4 times a year at the very early morning, 3 a.m. our time here, Eastern Standard Time. But we hope to reach a new audience of night owls or people who live in pretty diverse time zones. And that's going to be on Mondays about every 3 months at 3 a.m. It'll probably be about a 90-minute show. So there'll be more details on those new shows. But once again, thanks for watching and give us some support. Like us, give us a donation, follow us, share us. We love your support, so we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we will see you again next week for Oberon's outlook on the emotional exchanges. Bye now.